What's going on, everyone? I'm your host, the Mad, the Dashing, Dash Jovis, and I had so much fun playing Fiendsmith earlier today that I figured I would take Fiendsmith onto the ranked ladder and jam a few games, see if I can get to Master 1. It'd be nice to get the title for getting to rating duels for the next couple of seasons. I'm at, 3 out of 5 for the next title. Yeah, Beast. So that would be nice to get. And plus, it's just feels like accomplishment to get to Master 1 every format. I don't know if Fiendsmith is actually the way to do it. Probably Ryziel is a better deck to try that with, but I don't know. I like Fiendsmith. So here's the list I'm running. I'm on the Kashtira cards right now. I think they're really strong. You know, Unicorn can rip Detonator out of the Heraldic Ryziel list, and that leaves them with no Detonator, which is pretty strong. Or it can rip White Binder out of the Malice list, which leaves them with no White Binder, which is a bunch of their grind game, and it's important for a bunch of their first turn combos. And then Banishing face down with Kashtira Fenrir, also really good right now. And then either of these plus a hand trap is full Fiendsmith combo, and the Unicorn, because of Birth, actually becomes full Fiendsmith combo plus Revive Unicorn, which means you're often going to be getting 1 or 2 extra deck rips out of it. And then I'm also on the Millennium cards. These just kind of increase the ceiling of the deck. They give you some pushes for going second and for trying to OTK through Max C without having to go through all the steps that you would have to with the Fiendsmith cards. Earlier today I had a game where my hand was like Golem, Sangajin, Fenrir. So I summoned Fenrir, added Unicorn, then Golem, added Weju Temple, then Weju Temple, scale Sangajin, Sangajin, add Sangajin, Doom Dragon, make Photon Lord, and then Tribute Summon Golem and Fenrir for Unicorn, then Unicorn search Birth, and that was enough to basically stop the Malice player without even doing any of my Fiendsmith plays. I basically just left Fenrir and Unicorn on the table, and the Unicorn rips ended up being actually kind of unnecessary. They screwed up their long-term grind game, but all I really needed was the 1 negate, the Kashtira Fenrir, and the hand traps that I pulled, because I had like a Called by the Grave, and I think I had a Paradise that was completely useless in my hand. I could have made Desiree and had Paradise Desiree, but I ultimately decided not to do that, and it worked out just fine. And maybe it was Lancia was my last hand trap. I can't remember, but anyway, it was a pretty good hand. Just off of the Kashtira cards and Millennium cards. And then also both those engines can pivot into Fiendsmith if you don't see Fiendsmith access. This list also runs 3 Lacrima. A lot of the time you just immediately send Paradise so that you're set up with the Paradise in the graveyard immediately. Of course, Paradise can be stopped with Called by the Grave and Ash, so it's not a perfect interruption. And Caesar gets really easily disrupted by cards like Droplet and Imperm, so it is also not a perfect... It's not really, like, your end board ends up usually being pretty low-key, but you occasionally put up a Photon Lord on top of it all, or an extra Evolzar Lars. Sometimes you make sequence plays turn 1 in order to get some more materials. That list that I was running was on M7 instead of SP, but I've switched it back into SP now, because it just makes it so that you can OTK off of any 2 monsters from Moon of the Closed Heaven by linking Lacrima for the last bit of damage. Any link 2 would do that job. It could be Nightmare Phoenix, or you could run Dark, or you could run Lina, or, whatever link 2 you think would be good. But I think SP is probably the best generic link 2. I'm on a couple Droplet. I think Droplet is really good against Ryziel and has a lot of applications against Malice. It can help you take down their Omni Negator and their Appaloosa, or it can also you can save it for the right moment. and then use it to negate the white binder, which often is really disruptive to their gameplay. And the fact that they can't chain traps to Forbidden Droplet if you're sending a Paradise from the hand, that also comes up a lot, because then you're not only getting Paradise in the graveyard, but you're also preventing them from chaining a Malice trap in order to dodge the Forbidden Droplet. And then Forbidden Droplet can also allow you to dodge your opponent's imperms and stuff on stuff like Lacrima. Not that relevant, but occasionally you'll have like Lacrima plus Fiendsmith tracked or stuff like that, and then it becomes more relevant. And then I think Fuwalos is really good in this deck, because not only can you normal summon it with a Fenrir or a Unicorn or a Nibiru in order to full combo, but also you can scale it with the Sangajin or the Golem using the Wedgie Temple, and get access to full Fiendsmith combo that way. Plus it's just really good against Malice and relatively effective against Ryzeal. It's a good blowout card. It does suck that it's ashable, but no card is perfect, so yeah. So let's hop in and see how we do. Hi, Vinny. Won the coin toss, that's nice. Kind of an awkward hand. You basically don't want to see Fiendsmith in Paradise or Kashtira Birth. They're the two bricks in the deck. 20 engine, 2 bricks. I see both of them. What are you going to do? A Fiendsmith tracked. Alright, they negated that. Kashtira Birth was a little bit better to see back when I was on the Musket cards, because you could trigger your Musketeers with it. But it's just dead if you don't see it with a Kashtira monster now. They've already ashed. They could potentially Dominus Purge me. Hop up on my lap, silly baby. Oh, that's all they needed to see. Alright, game number 2. Lost the coin toss, but that's alright. We are on 17 hand traps. Well, 15 hand traps and 2 droplet, but you know. Lancia Nibiru droplet. That's potentially pretty good. Especially if this is Malice. Or if they brick. Okay. Okay. Fiendsmith tracked. Add Lurie. Discard Lurie. Lurie effect. Summon Lurie. You maxi me here. You Fuwalos me here. Okay. Okay, Sangajin. add Golem. Do they droll me? If they droll me, they kill their Fuwalos, so they don't. Golem. Golem. No Max C. That's a good sign. Add Wedgie Temple. Activate Wedgie Temple. Wedgie Temple. Place Nibiru. Place Sankagen. Doom Dragon, give them a card. If I give them 2 more cards, I'm playing into Nibiru, but I also could just OTK them. And I think trying to OTK through the Fuwalos is the play to make. Requiem. Requiem. Double Fuwalos, okay. Summon Engraver. Well, let's see if they nib me. They don't nib me. I think that's game. King. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I love the Millennium Engine for that. It's also really good in a Max C. Like, if your opponent is trying to count on just Max C to win them the game. Especially if they're, like, on Max C and Charmies and they're trying to count on those to, you know... Like, if they... Max C is a lot better if you're running a lot of interruptive hand traps. But if you're running Fuwalos and Max C and Perulia and Meowls as your main hand traps alongside Lancea, then my Millennium Monsters are just going to OTK you through anything. Okay. 2 more wins till Master Tier 2, that's alright. Lost another coin toss. Not against Tentai, but that's alright. Tentai, especially Board Breaker Tentai, kind of kicks Fiendsmith's ass, so. Fuwalos, Lancea. It's not so bad. I want to see if they put back a card before I Fuwalos them. Like, I want them to have a chance of having 1 less hash. Oh, it's Magistus. Interesting. Fuwalos. Okay. Yeah. Equip Artemis. I'm guessing. Yeah. Artemis effect. And your graveyard. Oh, okay. Interesting. Make an 8? Oh, after Artemis. Yeah, that makes sense. Crowding. Summon 3 Mat Duo Drive, eh? It is Ryzeal somehow. Interesting. I have seen a little bit of Magistus on ladder, and I've seen a lot of Ryzeal, but I haven't seen a lot of Ryzeal Magistus. I guess it makes sense though. You've got all these easy level 4s that access each other. Got cross and X and node. Okay. All right. Oh, you already have sword. I see. Okay. Sword at X. X ditch Myriologic Aggregator. Summon X. Yeah. X add. I've already got node, so probably sword number 2. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, sword number 2. Then node. I guess you could just make a 2 material detonator and then hold on to the node for follow-up. Catch. Yeah, okay. Oh, they're going Photon Blast after having detached from Duo Drive? That's very strange. Attach something to Photon Blast? Okay. Is this not once per turn? You can only use each effect once per turn. You can only special summon once per turn. You can equip it as many times as you like to. Okay. What's your second level 4? Because all I'm seeing here is a cross negate and a can't target Duo Drive. Or destroy Duo Drive. So that's with card decks. So that's relevant. But still, this doesn't seem to do what they want it to. Did you screw up, friend? They have... Yeah, they did screw up. Ha ha! Alright. That would have been really tough if they made a 4 material detonator with Myriologic Aggregator attached to it. But, they apparently thought they had a Ryziel monster in the graveyard. That's a very strange deck. Let's just take a look at that deck. So I don't know why you would be on Effect Failure in this day and age. But then you're just 1 Zeroa, 1 Crowley, 3 Spenta to search it. And then 7th Tachyon can search your Magistus monsters. Chorozo allows you to make a level 4 off of your Magistus monsters. They're all level 4 anyway though, so I don't really see the point of that. Does this have any cool effect? Negate the attack. Fusion material monster cards, right? So you can use Aroa equipped with Artemis. No, it's already level 4 though. I don't see what that actually does for you. 3 Nibiru, that makes sense. 3 7th Tachyon, that makes sense. 1 Bonfire, that makes sense. A little strange that there's no 7th Ascension, but I guess if you're just counting all of your Spenta as full Ryziel combo, that's pretty good. So this list seems like Ryziel that plays into Nibiru more, and I don't know if that's actually that good. Or like a lower ceiling version of Well, no, I mean it might even be better than the Heraldic Ryzeal deck, because like this isn't really a brick. This is kind of a brick, but these are all starters. Whereas Heraldic, if you look at the Heraldic list, I stole someone's Heraldic list and kind of was thinking about trying out Heraldic Ryzeal, and it's like Nemesis Flag is kind of a brick. It only is live some of the time. Arch Nemesis Protoss is kind of a brick. Like, yeah, if you can get 3 different attributes in your graveyard, then it's an insane floodgate, but like there's going to be hands where it doesn't do anything. And then like Heraldic Beast Leo doesn't do anything, and you've got 2 of it in the deck that you're just trying to send to the graveyard. And then Heraldic Beast Stadwale does do something, but only if you've got Heraldic Beast Leo in the graveyard and both of your Advanced Heraldry are on the field. And then it uses up your normal summon, so you're not normal summoning Ice Ryzeal and summoning out Star Ryzeal to get access to Ryzeal Cross. Like, yeah, the ceiling on this deck is way higher than... my extra deck for this one is not what they were running. There's too many ultra rares you have to craft for the Heraldic extra deck is the other reason I didn't want to play this. But, yeah, it just seems like, yeah, your ceiling is way higher, but in a lot of ways you have less non-engine space and more bricks. So I don't know if that's actually an improvement. It does seem pretty good. It does, especially if you're like winning coin tosses and seeing your X Ryzeal. But alright, I'm gonna go out for a smoke. I'll be right back. Alright. Still recording, still streaming, that's good. See if we can win a coin flip. I would love to rank up here. We do win the coin flip. Now we got a Dodge Max C. Fulos also pretty good against this deck. Fiendsmith does a lot of summoning from the extra deck just to get to Caesar. Pass, you know. Foolos, eh? The Maximi, generally speaking, they would Foolos before they Maxi if they were going to fire off at the start of the turn. So, Fiendsmith trapped. There's two options here, because this Foolos is basically dead in my hand. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Lacrima and discard Foolos. Almost summon Lacrima, Lacrima effect. I'm going to send Paradise. Or do I send Engraver? I guess I'll send Engraver. Fiendsmith Requiem. Activate Requiem. Summon Engraver number 2. Nope, I'm in the middle of streaming. Okay, have fun. Screwed this up, I was supposed to make Necro quick. I mean, technically what I just did didn't play into Nibiru the way making Necroquip would have, but it also means I don't have Paradise at all, which is less than ideal. I guess I'll Imperm it. You dodge the Imperm? I guess you're not using the right effect to dodge Imperm. Still, Goblin is full Memento combo, so maybe they still dodge the Imperm. Or, likewise, Bone Party or Fusion both go from here to be full combo. Although both of those can be negated by Caesar, so... We have Tatsunoko Shiko. Typhon, eh? Well, that's not so bad. I'm gonna beat over my Caesar rather than giving me access to Caesar again. Okay. It's not so bad. Now, any normal summon will get me an OTK. Of course, if I... Oh, Cashier Birth is just about the worst possible draw. Just about the worst possible draw. Fiendsmith Engraver. Shuffle back Engraver. Called by the grave my Engraver, eh? Oh boy. Well, let's hope they can't full combo me. Damn, that's disappointing. Goblin is full combo. If I land seal them, they can't banish fusion. No, I still take 8k damage. That'll be alright. First loss of the night. But actually, Fiendsmith is doing better than I thought it would this format. It seems like with the ceiling on this deck being so low, there's not a lot of reason to play it right now, but I just love the deck, so. This was the first deck that I ever got to master with. And I actually got to master with it before main deck Lacrima was released, so it was like 5 Magical Musketeers, 5 Fiendsmith cards, including Lurie, then the 5 Millennium cards and the 5 Cashiers. Labyrinth, eh? Oh boy. Labyrinth is tough to beat when they go first. Labyrinth can be tough to beat when they go second too, actually. Set 5 pass. Surprisingly strong going second plan. Droplet would go a long way here. So just anything I can respond to their trap with. Oh, that is something I can respond to their trap with. Okay, we'll max C there. Second trap and then they chain Lady, so it doesn't really help me that much, but... Summon Lovely. That is, in fact, Lovely. Then they big welcome. Chain Lady, okay. Well, at least they're giving me some cards. Okay. Draw a card, yeah. Turn that to your hand. Summon the last one. 2 clocks so that they can activate... What'd they set? Banquet of Millions. Oh, they're gonna banish my whole extra deck. Haha, Engraver, that's the best possible thing they could have been. Okay, banish my whole extra deck. Go ahead. Special summon Kashkira Unicorn. They have no extra deck for me to rip cards from. So in Lacrima effect. Send Paradise. Battle phase. Up over Ariana. Getting rid of my Doom Dragon really did hurt there. Banquet of Millions, man. What an obnoxious card. I mean, realistically, like, Skill Drain would have been worse for me than Banquet of Millions, but... What's your last trap? see, they can use big welcome to bounce something, then reset welcome even if their last trap isn't live. There's face down too. Okay, so I have no clue what their extra deck is. But they don't know what mine is either, do they? I guess this return segment might show them. Probably doesn't. Maybe we're face down. Probably just shows me because it's me. Yeah, the only thing that actually mattered there was Doom Dragon, but transaction rollback? Oh, it's not transaction rollback. That's nice. Set big welcome. Then 2 clock. Add back to hand. Activate 2 clock. Activate big welcome. Target Cashier Birth, probably. No? They're just gonna go to combat? Oh, they are going to banish Big Welcome. Okay, interesting. What are you returning to my hand? Unicorn. Okay. Oh, that Banquet of Millions cooked me, man. At least they can't make Chaos Angel. Fiendsmith in Paradise. Send Desiree. Turn Engraver to my deck. Get rid of Big Welcome Labyrinth. Can't activate it because you've already used it. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, that does kill me, doesn't it? Yeah. Good game. Good job, guys. That was really well played. Oh, what? Oh, right, because Lady Summons in defense position. It doesn't kill me. Okay. Set a second, or the third big welcome. So the last big welcome, but don't think there's any hope of winning this game from here. We've just got way too much going on. I can't even use my Sengajin anymore. Yeah. Oh well. First. Still no chatters. Every now and again I get a nice chatter popping up, but I don't check it often enough, and I'm on a 15-minute delay, so it's kind of, you know, kind of hard to engage my fans. So I got 1 new subscriber yesterday, so that's kind of nice. You ash me? Don't ash me, bro. Don't ash me. Oh, ash. If I called by the grave this and then they max see me, I'm pretty screwed. Whereas if I just wait till next turn and try and rely on Maxi to get me there, maybe I've got a game plan. On the other hand, I like playing the game, so I'm just going to play the game. No Lancia, nice. That's the only thing Lancia does against this deck, is answer called by the grave. But again, we've got Lancia as part of the Maxi minigame now, so that's just delightful. Well, I guess it's not Maxi. They might not Fool-Loss me here. If they have it, they might wait for me to Requiem. But I guess I'll give him the card. Oh, no Fool-Loss. That genuinely surprises me. Lacrimal. Ooh, I would love it if they impermed this. That'd make me so happy. Make me happy like little girl. Yep. Alright. If they saved that for my Caesar, they probably would have just kicked my ass. Okay, I'm gonna make Necro quick so I can draw a card. No, I don't want to use my Engraver for the Necro Pit, thank you so much. There have been situations where I've wanted to use my Engraver for the Necro Pit, but they're very few and far between. Necro Quip. Draw one. I might as well play it. Gonna have Unicorn. Then Engraver. Shuffle back Lurie. Bestial? No Bestial. Kind of a terrible draw off this Necro Quip, but if they break my board, it could still come in handy. And it does make my Caesar bigger. Still no chatters, alright. I'm going to be responsible with this Max C because I have some stuff going on. Droplet DD Wave High King Caesar? No. It's not in fact Droplet DD Wave High King Caesar. Okay, what are you doing? I don't want to turn on talent if I don't have to. So I'm just going to imperm. Okay. Of course they had Malice in the Mirror. Could have made Desiree, and that would have avoided this problem, but I have generally found that Desiree is not better to summon than Caesar. Oh my god, do you have the Ash too? Oh, you don't. Okay, good. Thank god. Thank god. Okay, let's summon back Requiem now. Aw, man, not even, what a bad draw. Can't I just draw some good hand traps? Come on. GWC, Lacrima, and Paradise. If they have a Bestial or a Martyr, I could still be in some trouble. But if all they have is make Splash Mage, I'm not in very much trouble. So we'll make Link Decoder. Okay. Gold Sarcophagus, of course, okay. Banish Chessy Cat. Chessy Cat effect. Wouldn't it be great if Caesar could do something? I swear, my Caesars always end up negated. Like, I may as well not make Caesar. I just wanted the Engraver in the graveyard, that's all. Gives me a potential follow-up. Okay. Oh my god, your last card is a Malice monster? What the fuck? Your one draw off of Maxi and is either Gold Sarcophagus or a Malice monster? That's just crazy. That's absolute insanity. Okay, give me Nib. Well, this Pressure Plant Wraith-Off is actually coming in somewhat handy here. Oh, they were really hoping I Paradise them. Why would I Paradise you there? Now let's hope my next draw is Nibiru. Come on, give me the Nib. Give me the Nib. Oh, don't give up. My hand, I'm drawing like ass. You can probably kill me this turn. Or just be a pussy, okay. I don't know, maybe they did genuinely have a connection failure, but, Okay. Sangajin Wakes. Pay 2K. No Max C, that's good. Add Golem. You droll me? You don't droll me. I do smell a Fuelos here. It smells like Fuelos. Maybe their hand is like droll Fuelos, so they don't know whether or not to droll me or Fuelos me. So this is the tricky part. I could scale my excess Fiendsmith card, but if I do that, I'm not drawing a card off of Necroquip. I could scale Lancia, which if I'm not against Malice, is probably the correct thing to do. Or I could scale Max C, which is very easily answered if they have an Ash Blossom, or a Called by the Grave, and I can't protect it if I don't keep the Lancia in my hand from the Called by the Grave. So what I place with this Wedju Temple is highly debatable, but I am going to continue to disrespect Max C. I've been disrespecting Max C since I started playing this game, and I'm going to continue to disrespect it. Sorry, but if you can get negated by an Ash Blossom, you're my lowest impact hand trap because your impact is 0, zilch, nada, none, 9! Galaxy has Photon Lord, so now they need Imperm Nibiru to stop me. It's also summon number 4, I think, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means now they can nip me, but I'll have Lacrima sending Paradise. And Requiem. Then Requiem summons Engraver. And they're willing to call it there. One of my dailies is done. What else do we have for dailies? Destroy a card. Yeah, sure. Caesar negates and destroys, but it doesn't matter if your Caesar never actually gets to resolve its effect. You get a trap card. Fortunately, it says trap card, not trap card or effect, so none of our Paradise activations matter. Alright, let's see if we can get to Master 2. Well, that's a good start. Refresh start. Aw, really? Oh, never mind. They did not disconnect. Yeah, this hand is good. Pressure Planet Wraithsoft. No, I don't want to ash my own card. Thank you very much. That's a good question. Have any of you guys ever actually wanted to ash your own card? Like, is that a play you've ever made where you've either ashed your own card or gone, damn, I don't have the ash. I needed the ash to win this game to ash my own card. Like, the only situation I can think of where that might maybe happen is if you're trying to stop Max C from getting an extra draw. But even then, wouldn't you rather just let them have a draw and then use your ash on their choke point? I'm gonna send Paradise right now. Yeah, I got the chance. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I make Necroclip here, I'm playing into Nibiru. Still, YOLO. Swag. There's no sense in showing off that I have 2 Requiem without needing to. DDD, Wave High King, Caesar. And then I make Moon. No, just kidding. Just kidding, I wouldn't do that. Well, I'm not sure if they were just afraid to trigger my Unicorn or if they had no hand traps to do it, but kind of don't want to Lancia them until I've activated my Unicorn. If they're Malice, that is. If they're not Malice, then basically doesn't matter. Okay, track. Adlery. Scarred Lurie. Okay. Lurie effect. Does this negate the activation? Yeah, it does negate the activation. I'm just going to let them summon Lurie then. And then cast here a Unicorn. Oh, do you have Droplet? Don't seem to Droplet me. They only have 1 Requiem. Hate to break it to you, but your Larry's not doing shit. Not doing jack diddly fucking squat. Lacrima. Getting saved by the pressured planet race off here. Okay. We're gonna Caesar that. You drop it in here. Shuffle back Lurie, deal 12. Summon Engraver. I don't see much point in the Fiendsmith Ryzeal deck. I mean, unless you like Ryzeal and Fiendsmith. I guess kind of obvious, but like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, you might as well be playing pure Ryzeal or Heraldic Ryzeal or even Magistus Ryzeal like we saw earlier tonight, rather than the Fiendsmith variant. Cast Cure of Birth, you fool. Now you Myriologic Aggregator my BBB Wave High King Caesar. Yeah. And you even get to chain block the X Ryziel. Why forbidden droplets? I mean, the planet is basically free to droplet because it's already done its job. So I guess I'll just do that. They need 2 more pushes to beat me here. Okay, they've got 1 more push. I'm going to ash that. You have Called by the Grave? You have Called by the Grave? But that's not gonna be good enough, my friend. Welcome to a world where everyone's running Lancia. It's just blowout versus blowout. Ooh, bad call, my friend. Wait. Why is it not letting me activate Paradise? What the fuck? What the fuck? It should have given me a window to activate Paradise. Priority's not a thing in the modern game. Oh, I can't banish Paradise because it's Lancia. Ha ha ha. Okay. Alright. So they're gonna get a detonator online. No Ryziel and Cross? If I had to guess. Or maybe plug-in. I think I still win through that. Maybe not. What? That's not very clever. I guess they were hoping to draw exactly Sword Ryziel? That's not very clever. Alright, Master Tier 2. So if I'm a good little boy, maybe I'll make it to Master Tier 1 tonight. Still no chatters. I am going to take a smoke break. Alright, I'm back. I'm ready to play more Fiendsmith Control. Winning another coin toss, that's kind of nice. And this berth is just glued to my hand. Okay, Sengagen. A2K. Okay. So I didn't call it by the grave that for a couple of reasons. One is that I don't actually want to place my Max C if I can avoid it. The second is that I can play through that Ash. So I think it's better to save the called by the grave for the Foolos or Max C. Akrama. And as you see, my diligence was rewarded. No Lancia, that's good. I mean, honestly, Lancia wouldn't have been so bad to see here. I could have just made Requiem and passed after sending Fiendsmith in Paradise. So I think I'm gonna send Engraver this time. I mean, sending Paradise is actually kind of nice. Well, you know that it's resolved. But does mean you're not going to be able to get the Requiem out. Okay. So I could just summon Engraver and then make Caesar if I wanted to play around Nibiru. Or alternatively, to play around Nibiru, I could just end on Necropip. Because then I draw an extra card off my Max C and I just count on my hand traps being enough to stop them. But I'm going to play into Nibiru and they don't nib me. Wonder what that delay in their hand is. If it's imperm, this Caesar is just immediately dead, which is disappointing. But I do still potentially have Paradise. I'm going to keep the Birth in my hand. Seventh Tachyon. Okay, so they add X-Ryzeal, and that just... This is one reason that this deck is pretty bad into this meta too, is X-Ryzeal just cooks Caesar. Okay, I'm going to max CU right here. Alright, I called by the grave the Max C. Whoops. My bad. I'm in PB, well, let's... Probably should have saved that Max C in my hand so that my Sengagen was stronger. But that's just game. Oh well. Yeah, there's no way one Sangajin plus a draw is gonna beat full Ryzeo combo. It just doesn't. They immediately pop the Sangajin after I pay 2k. And that's assuming they don't knock me out with Deguaris plus Detonator. X-Ryziel is a nutty card against Caesar, obviously. You could always make Desiree to account for that. I am running 2 Desiree, so I'd still have Desiree and Paradise potentially. But it doesn't actually work that way because you have to fuse the Paradise material away to make the Desiree. Okay, Lancia plus Nib could be really good. Oh, it is going to be really good. Probably. You have Called by the Grave? You don't have Called by the Grave, okay. So now all they can do is make backup. And then that plays in a Nib. Oh, they don't even have the backup. Okay, that's an awkward draw. Activate Sangajin. Special summon Kashtira Unicorn. Unicorn effect. Add Birth. Activate Birth. Activate Sangajin Waits from a Millennium. They max see me here. But that's okay, I'm still going to kick their butt this game. Kashtira Unicorn. Gets rid of White Binder. Then I activate Wedgie Temple. The Wedgie Temple. Sangajin. Play Sangajin. And I activate Golem. I activate Golem. Ashman, okay. So I'm not going to be able to OTK them. $3K plus 2750 plus 2500 doesn't do it. Still, I think I do make Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. Scale their Dormouse. Don't think I'm going to make Photon Lord. 25, 2750, 3K. Oh, they paid life points, so they do actually lose to that. That's right. Paying life points is sometimes a disadvantage. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the list and see if there's anything we could change about it. I think the extra deck is actually like really tight and kind of perfect for the Cash Millennium version. Like, you could try and make room for a Barone, but you need so many of these cards for the Fiendsmith stuff, and then you need so many of these cards for the Millennium stuff, and then like your flex slots are like Valzar Lars, which does come up a fair amount of the time. The second Desiree, which doesn't come up very often, but when it does come up, you're really grateful to have it. And then the second Requiem, which is like having a second Requiem in case they answer your first Requiem, or cast here a Unicorn, rip away a Requiem. Very important to this deck. Like, I actually do think the second Requiem is basically mandatory. And then there's like Agnum Day, which you don't technically need in the Millennium version, because you have the Millennium cards to OTK. But, I mean, you have 5 Millennium cards and 20 Fiendsmith cards, effectively, right? Because the Millennium cards are Fiendsmith cards, the Cashier cards are Fiendsmith cards. I don't want to cut any of the Millenniums. Thank you so much. So, basically boils down to, do I think Imperm is good enough, and do I think Droplet is good enough? I haven't been super impressed with the Droplet, but I don't know what I would run over it. Roll conflicts a little bit with the Maxi and the Fuelos plan. Haven't actually crafted my Perulia since I crafted them down, because there's so few decks that I think I want Perulia in. Like, Tenpai wants to play Perulia, obviously, but just compared to Fuelos, it doesn't hit as much of the spread in best of one. So, unless you're going second deck, having a dead hand trap, especially because you often are going to want the Fuelos in your deck, and then you have 2 dead hand traps that, and I mean 3 Fuelos is nice because you can activate 2 of them in a turn. 3 Fuelos, 3 Perulia, maybe not quite as good. Maybe 2 Fuelos is interesting. Then you only activate 1 of them, and then we can run Effect Veiler for crossout. That could be a thing. Or just the 3rd Droplet. I think we need our blowouts though, with Malice in the format. And Droplet does play really nice with this engine, so I'm gonna say this is good enough for now. Yeah, Droplet plays really nice with the Millennium cards, and it also plays really nice with the Kashtira cards. Alright. Oh, awkward. And seriously, how is this Kashtira Birth glued to my hand? Like, yeah, ash me. Do it. Do it. Ash me. Okay. Add Fiendsmith Engraver. Discard Feeble Blurry. If they drool me, it means they can't max see me. And I have a Tract in the graveyard, so I can make use of this Engraver in my hand. So I'm not going to Called by the Grave that. Now I have an answer to the Ash Blossom if they're trying to ash me. Of course, if they impulse me, well, they can't impulse this because I won't have anything on the field. But they can still impulse me later on. Summon Lacrima. Lacrima effect. Send Engraver. Okay, I'm an Engraver, Shuffle back Lurry. They're letting me do it, okay. Requiem on Lacrima. Go into Necro Equip. Then these two. And I think I'll just save this second engraver for follow-up. Ugh, what an ass hand, though. It wouldn't be such a bad hand if they hadn't rolled me and I'd had any hand trap in the place of Cashier Birth. But, as it stands, seeing 2-tracked engraver, kinda pretty bad. 1 imperm cooks me now. Yeah, they have the imperm. Of course they do. Why do I even make Caesar? Do it because Desiree is almost never enough. Do it. No! That's not what I wanted to see. Okay. Oh, it's just good clock. Alright. Oh, don't tell me you're gonna play into Nibiru. You are, you son of a bitch. You're gonna play into Nibiru? Rude. I want the engraver back in the graveyard. But also, you better have another Malice monster in your hand. Okay. You do have another Malice monster? No, you don't. Okay. You have a Bestial? You have backup. Oh my god. And this hand would have been cooked if they didn't have the Imperm. But I don't think there's anything I can do from here. And they're playing into Nib, but I don't have the Nib. 1 Nib would have been game over for this, but like, they did play it pretty well. They played around my Called by the Grave. I don't know why they always have the Imperm for my Caesar. 3 Imperm in a 40-card deck, and you're always going to have it for my Caesar? So obnoxious. But then if I make Desiree, I just have 1 interruption instead of 3, and that's no good. Probably should have Paradised on this, but it wouldn't have really stopped them from comboing off, so I don't know. Appaloosa. I activate Fiendsmith in Paradise. Send Desiree. Activate Desiree. Shuffle back Requiem. Bait out an Appaloosa negate. Yeah. No respect for the Ash, and I still can't do anything because I saw fucking 3 copies of the same card and a fucking brick. Ugh. I'm in a max CU here. With extra ISO in the format, that's not so bad, and realistically, yeah, they're just going to always have the answer to it, so I wanted to know ahead of time. Now if they normal summon Dormouse, I know I can just concede. Well, I guess I have this droplet. Oh! Well, there's no way they're Fiendsmith control. They're going to do full fucking white Boris combo or some shit from this. Oh, I see. Your Fiendsmith Malice. Yeah, I've heard about this deck. This is my first time encountering this deck. It's kind of weird because your 2 engines don't bridge into each other or really offer each other anything that important. I mean, man, they're playing hard into Nibiru. They did not have to play so hard with the Nibiru. I feel so much disrespect. Like, Jesus. So much disrespect. But yeah, I mean, basically the idea behind Fiendsmith Malice is twofold. First of all, your Fiendsmith cards allow you to create a push before you play your Malice cards to bait out interruptions. And second of all, if they Lancia you, your Fiendsmith cards can't be Bestial, but if they Bestial you, they can't have already activated Lancia. So like, basically you're forcing your opponent to have Bestials and Lancia and see the Bestial in the right place. Still, I think they're just going to cook me out, see how I have any hope of beating Fiendsmith Malice full combo. And again, they could have put up a Caesar ahead of doing the Malice stuff and respected Nibiru. But instead they're being disrespectful as all shit. Of course, there's always the chance they're not on Caesar and they're just using Fiendsmith as a couple of extenders to make it easier to put up Red Ransom. It's what it really looks like right now, which is, I guess, okay, but then you're not really getting the advantage of being a deck that's not weak to Lancia, you know? Oh, I know, make a 4-material Appaloosa right here and then call it a day. That'd be nice. There's no way they do that play. 0% chance. Bao Ku, okay. Someone spicy. Oh, that's nice. So Baoku is a pop. Then they're going to have Malice in the Mirror. They're going to have a triple Graveyard Banish. But if they're on a Baoku, they're probably just going to Griffin Lock me, right? Like, that's, realistically speaking, what people do with the Baoku version. The Graveyard Banish does kind of cook me. Set GWC again? Set MTP, okay. And then you have a Baoku plus Firewall? So they're on a spicy Malice list, but it doesn't seem to be a particularly good Malice list. Oh, yay. Yay. Okay. Got a special summon Kashkira Unicorn. So far, so good. This is actually best case scenario. If they saved that for the birth, I would have been in big trouble. Ooh. Are you gonna hit me here? Yes, you are. Okay. Can I afford a Graveyard Banish to happen? I don't think I can. Fiendsmith track. Yeah, they have Paradise. So I don't think this version of Malice is actually particularly good, but it's sure good enough to beat me here. Of course, it might not be that the version is bad. They might be playing the optimal version of this and just don't know how to make Griffin, don't know how to make Caesar. Could be. Still, this board will be good enough. Send Paradise. But I can't stop that without losing all my graveyard at the immediate next step. They don't know how to set GWC? Like, this is wild. Okay, yeah, good enough. We do have a Paradise. So again, if they set GWC, made Firewall, they would have had more interruptions. Like, I don't understand what the heck they were doing. If they made Caesar first, I wouldn't have been able to Nibiru them. Or at least I would have had to Nibiru them before the Caesar, and then they would have had full Malice combo anyway, plus a token for Link Spider. Maybe they're not on Link Spider because of the cards it takes to play the Fiendsmith stuff, but... that irritated me so much that now I'm going to build Fiendsmith Malice and see how good it can be. Three, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. One Lacrima, one Tract, one... oh no, no one's playing Kyrie. There's like one guy who plays Kyrie, and it's pretty bad. I don't think he can afford Agnum Day, but I'd be loath to play it without sequence. And then we need Necro Equip and Caesar. Then we need Hollow, Splash Mage, Link Decoder. Oh. I didn't put in the engraver, did I? Huh. In my opinion, that doesn't leave us with room for the added Mr. cards in the main deck. Because there's no space for Cyber's Wicked in an extra deck this tight, too. This is a tight extra deck. And that looks pretty good about Coup. Right. Access code talker is definitely needed. And then like SP. I guess you've got to decide between SP and Lingeribo. Both are pretty good. You need Desiree for Paradise. Maybe you don't need Lacrima or Sequence. So just like, you're not trying to make Desiree, you're just trying to send Desiree off Paradise. And then your Fiendsmith cards are exclusively Caesar plus Paradise, so that's what I'm doing with them most of the time anyway. And then that does create room for Lingeribo and SP. Lingeribo. Leaves me with one spot. And as we just saw with that last combo, Firewall Dragon would have been really handy. And we can just make Allied Code Talker or Appaloosa instead of Abao Coup. Discard fewer cards. Then we want like Garcia, 3, Max C, 1, 2, Duelos, 1, 2, 3, Mid, 1, called by, 1, 2, Imperm, 3, cross out, Drolling yourself is not as effective in the Fiendsmith deck, because if you see Engraver, and we're 2 Engraver 1 tracked rather than 3 tracked 2 Engraver, so if you see Engraver, you can't really droll yourself. Not safely. Not every time, at least. Plus, you want to search off of the Fiendsmith cards, and you want to search off of Dormouse. So, maybe... do we run Effect Veiler, maybe? Maybe this is the type of deck where you still want Effect Veiler. Just like... oh, you know what? We want Bestials for the Malice cards. And then Bestials do actually pair pretty well with Veiler. Or we could just do what we were doing before and go Droplet. Droplet does seem pretty good a lot of the time. Bestials are good with Lancea to protect them from Called by the Grave too, so I think Bestials are worth it in this deck. And then maybe we do just run a couple of Effect Veiler. Pretty low impact, but there's only so many good blowouts, you know? If I had 2 other copies of Nibiru, I would consider running 3 Nibiru. But I only have the 1 Nibiru at the moment. I crafted down my Nibiru at a certain point when I stopped wanting to run 3 a lot of the time. And what it basically boils down to is Nibiru is a hard once per turn, so I'd rather run hand traps that pair well with themselves than hand traps that are... like, I'd rather run a more diverse suite of hand traps that can all be activated together than run 3 Nibiru and have it be good some of the time when it's paired with, etc. But then my opponents disrespect Nibiru, and I'm like, fuck, maybe I should just be playing this card in multiples. I don't know, maybe I'll craft some Nibiru next time I have some extra dust. My pure Duelist Cup sleeves from the Duelist Cup 2022. I think that was the first Duelist Cup. It just says Duelist Cup, which I love. Striking Stratagem Simulation area. Pot of Greed Coin. Our 3 main cards are Fiendsmith, Mouse Dormouse, Fiendsmith Engraver, and Caesar, I guess, basically. Oh, I'm still just calling it deck. That's going to confuse the fuck out of me. Fiendsmith Malice. Larry's in here, yep. Got Necro quick so that I can make Caesar, yeah. Okay. We'll have to see what, I mean, you're missing a bunch of cards that I think are pretty good in Malice, maybe even practically essential in Malice, but, like Link Spider, for example. And the Ad Ignister cards, Cyber's Wicked. But it is a Fiendsmith kind of day, so let's just see how Fiendsmith Malice does. Okay, Drool hurts me pretty badly here, but it does mean I'm not getting max seed. So okay. Good news, bad news. The good news is I'm not getting max seed. Bad news is I'm not playing Fiendsmith. And this version of the deck doesn't even have the OTK option for out of the Fiendsmith cards. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like the extra deck is too tight to play this variant. The Malice extra deck is already really tight. So try to make room for the Fiendsmith cards you need as well, at the cost of your backup Ad Ignister. Okay, well, that just cooked me. Of course, making Splash Mage there would have cooked me too. I guess I could have just stopped there. I did consider it. Damn. I mean, I did say I would be a little weak to Droll. Aw, that sucks. That means my Fool Loss is offline too. What a cracked hand that player had. But also, it doesn't help that my version of Malice right now is weaker than normal Malice and still loses to Lancia, but now also loses to Droll. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Fiendsmith Malice made sense at one point in PCG, but I don't think it makes sense at this point in Master Duel. Just too bad. Be nice if you could play the best deck and be playing Fiendsmith. It's kind of why I was hoping Fiendsmith Ryziel would turn out to be a good deck. I don't think I need to play any more of that in order to judge its merits. There's no way you can run Bestials in this deck because they conflict so heavily with the Kashtira monsters. There was a time where I was running like one Druis Worm, one Magnamute, but that was a format where everyone was on Fiendsmith instead of like Rogiax being on Fiendsmith. And even then, It did occasionally conflict. It just wasn't so terrible. You can normal summon Fenrir and Unicorn pretty often, so... Okay, maybe we can get a Fiendsmith game where our Caesar doesn't get negated. That would be nice. Oh man, I'm gonna lose my rank. What am I doing playing Fiendsmith on the ladder? Crazy of me. Well... Okay... Oh, so good, better than ever has before. Okay. Honestly, I'd almost rather they do that there than let me make Caesar and stop me, because it means I get a draw. Not that it's a bad imperm, right? Because when I'm playing Millennium, for all they know, I'm on Snake Eyes, and at that point they just have to try and stop me from getting online, or White Forest or whatever, right? Like, I'm gonna start with Lancia. Bestial Magnate. Banish Lurie. Very smart target. Very smart target. One smart fellow, he felt smart. Okay, let's hope I draw something good here. These two Foolos were basically the worst possible non-engine I could have seen for going first. Oh, and I draw Imperm. Lovely. Okay, what else are you doing? So they can't make Splash Mage. They can make Lizardos, but they can't banish. Am I missing something? This game is looking pretty good. I guess seeing Lancia against Malice is generally pretty good. It's not always good enough by itself, but it's pretty strong. Are you going to the battle phase? Yep, they're going to the battle phase. Okay. Exit the battle phase. Set 1. Pass. Nope. They're making IP Masquerena. Okay. Lacrima. No, Requiem. So I have to not give... Oh, I guess they have the material anyway. So still, this Requiem not very useful in the face of Cruist Worm. Sengajin Wakes. Who needs life points anyways? Golem that guards the Millennium Treasures. Treasure. Cruist Worm Masquerena would be really strong here. They could make SP. Also send a monster to the graveyard and basically put me back to square one. Yeah. Doesn't really matter. Or are they going to make Appaloosa? That could be interesting. Okay. What are you doing from here? Yeah. Okay. Just make an SP. It's pretty good. SP banish. Boom. Your target is Golem. Hit Golem, yeah. There we go. Cruist Worm, send Sengajin. Yep. Turn might come in handy after all. Oh, I wonder if they have Nim. Braver. Make Requiem. Requiem. Summon Engraver. Summon Fuelos. 2 into sequence. You stop me right here. Don't stop me now. Please? Pretty please? Alright. 1, 2. Lacrima. Lacrima effect. Summon Engraver. Don't stop me now. Alright. We are in fact having a good time. Okay, let me go to the battle phase. Don't be a jerk. Yeah! I don't even need to use the Lacrima's burn damage to kill them because they dealt themselves a little bit of damage off of their Malice monsters. That's nice. Didn't rank down. Calling that a comeback victory, but honestly I felt pretty in control of that whole game. This whole comeback victory thing, I'm not sure how it's calculated, but like, there's a lot of games where it's like, they max-seed me, so it's a comeback victory. But it's like, yeah, but I called by degrade them, and then I land-seeded them. It wasn't a comeback victory. It was but I don't know. Maybe that was a comeback victory. They were Malice, and they got the combo a little. Okay, trap card. That's just destroy card. No chatters, but the people trying to sell me views. I don't need to buy views. I wouldn't buy views even if it was a good idea to buy views, and it's not, so, you know. Well, they're pairing me up against a Master 1 player, but I get to go first. Huh. Right. Righto. Okay. Lacrima. Discard Paradise. Normal summon Lacrima. Would have been nice if they rolled there, but whatever. Max C, okay. That's fine. I'm not planning on playing into your Max C at all. To give them 2 cards in order to do absolutely jack shit but be able to recur a Lacrima, or I could just pass the turn. Invoked, eh? Normal summon Alistair is just not good enough anymore in my opinion. I am HO. It's not even the best way to get invoked Mechaba on the field anymore. Oh. Well, I don't see how giving them more cards was gonna win me this game. That is frustrating, because they just gonna kill me. Or are they? Maybe not. Ash? have the ash? Tell me you don't have the ash. You wouldn't ash a boy. You wouldn't call by the grave of boy. They would not call by the grave of boy. Boy, I'm alive. I'm alive! I'm alive! Okay. Oh, Sengenjin. Do you have the second Maxi? There can be only one. Okay. That's obnoxious. That is genuinely pretty obnoxious. I'm gonna summon it in attack position. Yeah, I mean, I should have been able to OTK you, but you floodgated me. That is truly despicable. Then you ash. And that's game. Because I summoned an attack position. Whoops, that was foolish of me. Maybe I should have tried to bait the ash with Fiendsmith Engraver. Well, sometimes they flip a floodgate. What are you gonna do? Other than lobby for all the floodgates to be fucking banned. Sorry, stun players, but your fun at seeing me squirm is not as important as the game being fun for everyone else. Not only are floodgates unfun, they're so uncompetitive. Like the entire game just comes down to someone flip the trap that says you can't. Ooh, how skillful you are for putting there can only be one in your deck. So this hand is cheeks. Pure unadulterated cheeks. There are worse hands, because there are hands that don't combo off. But it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Droll me here. Way rather see Droll than Lancia with this hand. Or Maxi, I mean. Thinking about Lancia because I got the Lancia in my hand. Galaxy Eyes. Photon Lord. Yeah, into Droll there are worse hands. Summon Lacrima. Lacrima effect. Send Paradise. Paradise nuts. Okay, Fiendsmith Requiem. Dominus Impulse, eh? Okay. So, it's Tenpai or it's Malice. Probably Malice. It's Malice, I might just win this. It's Tenpai I've probably lost. 1 negate versus Tenpai. Not the most effective thing in the world. Backup Attic Mister, backup effect. Okay, let's let them do their thing. They had Dormouse. They discard Dormouse. They discard Lancia. Okay. So you don't have an extender and you don't have a hand trap to make this into full combo. That's not so bad. Never mind, that was a bad hand for my opponent. Comeback victory. Comeback victory is what happens when you brick but your opponent bricks even harder, right? Destroy a card. But even if I was playing Vanquish Soul or Ryziel, or even Vanquish Soul, even if I was playing a deck that is actively destroying stuff, games would end before I got to destroy anything most of the time. Alright, well, I'm having a pretty good time, and I have made some progress. Maybe we'll get to raiding duels this month after all. But I'm going to take another smoke break because I am a nicotine addict. Alright, I am back. And ready for some more Fiendsmith gaming. Lost the coin toss, that's alright, I'm running full loss anyway. I said, oh boy, okay. So if they make Star Leash Photon Blast Dragon next, I just lose the game on the spot. They make Duo Drive. Alright, I have a chance. Not a big chance, but chance. Unless they have cross out. Oh, no cross out. Okay. They probably should have guessed from my toggle that I was imperm and made the Star Leash, but okay, now all I need is to draw Droplet, and I am winning this game. Okay. Atlancia, get rid of the card. We'll draw that card next turn. Okay. Not great draws for this situation. Pressure Plant Race Off. Yep. Not a great hand in the detonator unless I drew Imperm or Droplet. Adlery. Spartlery. Blurry Effect. You're just burning everything right off the bat, and the worst part is they're not going to be punished for it. At all. Not even remotely. Okay, dude. I was just going through the motions anyway. That game sucked. It's hard to see what else I could have done other than draw Droplet. But I guess if I was truly skillful at the game, I would draw Droplet, so, you know. Now I see my Droplet. Don't lightning storm me, bro. Don't you do it. I know you're thinking about it. Fusion deployment. Okay. Van Guignol. Alright. Blazing Cartesia, the Virtuous. Okay. Summon Spriggan's Kit. I will imperm Spriggan's Kit. You will Cartesia the Virtuous. I will Droplet, send an imperm. They're willing to call it at that. Alright. Well, we're getting gems pretty fast. I just spent my last 1,000 and I almost have enough for the dual pass gold. One more day. And if I can get to Master 1 and do my dailies, I should be able to get it on the first day. That'll be nice. Of course, that's if I get to Master 1 and finish my dailies. Those things are not inevitable. Still no real chatters. Wow. That might genuinely be the worst Fiendsmith in Paradise ever. Should I make Desiree? If I have the option to, even. I guess since I'm not going to have Paradise anyway, I might as well make Desiree, yeah. Just dual lost me already. Let me concede the game in peace. Oh, they're not dual lossing me. That's very interesting. Um, yeah, we'll recycle main. Okay. Then they imperm my sequence. Baylor my sequence, okay. Good enough. Probably should have waited to see that they had combo there before conceding, but oh well. Keep that in mind for next time. Prima effect. Send Paradise. One into Requiem. Requiem. Cross out XC. Lancia. Dang. That's frustrating. Playing into the Fuelos, eh? Okay. see that. Alright. I see that, yeah. I see that. March here, draw 2. March here. Add march here. Okay. And they're going to play into Nibiru. And I don't have Nibiru yet. Don't think this was the play, revealing more information, and also they had the Ash and they didn't Ash my Fuel Loss. That seems crazy. Didn't Ash the Fuel Loss, they don't have the Ash for the Fiendsmith in Paradise anymore. Like, they must have a second Ash. That's the only thing I can think of. Art Scriptor. Why did they let me draw? Oh, because they drew 2 after. Okay. That's fine. The way they played this was wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah. Well, for once I'm gonna get to punish with a Nibiru. That's kinda nice. They're playing pretty smart. Playing pretty smart. I think it was kind of crazy to discard the Ash Blossom, but I guess if they had the Troll... this, can I nip? So for once I have the Nibiru for the punish, that's kind of nice. They still have plays they can make from here, especially if they have Link Spider. running Link Spider? They might not be. Okay, what are you setting? GWC, interesting. Yeah, if they had Link Spider, they could have made access code Conquer. They do have Link Spider. Damn, I'm gonna get beaten by someone who's misplaying. That's obnoxious. Because they could have made access code Conquer and then banished the White Binder to resummon it. That would have been for sure enough. But I guess I needed to draw something better than the beard. Wow. Okay. Or they could have just not drawn the droll off of their fucking Jessie cap. Well, I need to draw a card off this Maxi, so I'm going to be responsible about it. Yeah. PB11, okay, of course. Of course they're a PB11 gamer. Blizzard Oath. So I Lancia right here. Oh my god, okay. So I guess I should have Lancia'd first, and then Ash Blossomed, and then Maxi. Ugh. Got out minigamed, it happens. Okay. I don't know why my bricks are glued to my hand, man. I'm running 2 bricks in the deck, and I can't get through a couple of games without seeing one or the other of them. More important, the Fiendsmith tracked. Rab Lacrima. Scarred Paradise. Activate Unicorn. At birth. Give birth. Lacrima. Lacrima effect. Send Graver. One into Fiendsmith's Requiem. Requiem effect. Oh, and they have the Lancia too. That's brutal. 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 I'll give him a card. Can't even use my unicorn. Brutal. How am I getting out minigamed all the time? Crazy. Well, hopefully it's Malice and then I can do something against them. Okay. Cast Curate Unicorn. It is Malice. Playing Transcode. Ooh, Alternate Access Code. That's kind of neat. No, we're gonna get the white binder out of the picture. Okay, we draw 2 cards. Fiendsmith in Paradise. So Desiree. Shuffle back Requiem. Send Dormouse to the graveyard. Called by the grave Desiree. And that's when I go for Lancia. You have backup? Oh man. Oh man. Oh, it's Wizard. That's a little better. It's a little bit better. It's not much better. It's a little bit better. Oh, your zones. Your zones. Nope. That doesn't do it. Oh, I guess you're just going to make transcode. Okay. It does kind of do it, doesn't it? Because you're on transcode. Banish anything with access code though, so I guess you just make an ally code copy. God, talents once again cooking me. Feels so good every time my opponent plays it, and yet it feels so dead every time I run it. But my opponent's taking their time, that means I might still have a chance. Might just time themselves out if they keep this up. Just make the transcode talker. Okay. Alright, I'll be right back. I need a cigarette. How long have I been on? Let's just double check. 3 hours? Yeah, maybe I'll do this for another hour and then call it a night. Okay. Okay. doing a little bit. Alright, I am back. Going first, that's kind of nice. Akuma effect. Some Paradise. One. Requiem. Hi, Benny. Requiem effect. Summon Engraver. Necro Clip. And then I could just draw a card on my opponent's turn. With Imperm and Droplet in the deck, I don't know. Probably better to make Caesar. If I get nibbed, it's not, but you know. They have the nib, but they don't nib me. Probably nib me now. I guess they decided against it. Maybe they have Imperm. Yes, hello, Danny. Hello, my baby kitty. You are a sweetie boo. You are a sweetie boo. A dear servant. That is probably pretty important. Archfiend. Add one Regenesis to the graveyard with Banishment, reveal, special summon, and a special summon Inherent Summon, so I can't even Caesar it. Frustrating. Genesis Lord, summon Regenesis Archfiend. Okay. Deck is interesting, the Genesis deck. It's like main deck monsters with interruptions on them that are easy to summon. Yeah. Okay. 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 I guess I should have land seared them to prevent that from happening. I don't think I've ever seen this card before. Okay. Activate the effect of Golem. Place Golem. Okay. Well, they're gonna have the Omni. That sucks. I think they just kicked my butt. Letting me get that Regenesis Lord is too much. Still lose to Regenesis, but might as well play it out. they have the monster, they can send my monster to the graveyard and make this mostly irrelevant anyway. But they don't. They had the trap in their hand anyway, so I don't know what I was going to do in that game, realistically. Could have stopped them from summoning more Genesis Lord and had more life points, but they were still going to summon all those monsters out. Sucks to lose to that deck, though, because I don't think that deck is very good. Still, it's pretty good against Caesar, that's for sure. All inherent summons. Last chance. Alright. Pass out. Maxi. Requiem, Impulse. Well, they can't have Alusa anymore. So that's kind of nice. It resolves. Kind of nice. I'll be Feather Duster, right? Damn, it's Tenpai. If I had just been allowed to keep my droplet, I might have a chance in this game. But I have a 0% chance of winning this game against Tenpai, I'm pretty sure. Of course, what a cracked hand they have. 4 out of their 6 cards were... Oh, it's 10-5. Never mind. It looked like a Malice card for a second. Open Storm. Okay. Huh. Okay, they're adding Hydra in 3 turns. That's acceptable. Gonna summon Lacrima. Lacrima effect. Alright. They must have had the blaster in their hands. That's why I don't really love the Gold Sarcophagus line in Tenkai. Like, yeah, it's technically a better starter than some of your other potential starters, like the Dora and whatever, but it's also not quite as consistent. Still, they put me in top deck mode there, so... We start by special summoning Kashtira Unicorn. We activate Wedgie Temple. Wedgie Temple. Place this and this. Summon this. Kashtira Unicorn. Rips Neurologic Aggregator out of the deck. Activate the effect of Fiendsmith Engraver. Track. Activate the effect of Kashtira Unicorn. Birth. Activate the effect of Birth. Activate Fiendsmith's Track. Good old Chick Tracks. He doesn't want a funny little paper about how atheists are going to hell, right? Take a 30. Requiem. I'm gonna give him a chance to respond. Summon Lacrima effect. Summon Engraver. Engraver. Go back to Lurie. Summon Engraver. Requiem. The Lacrima. Necro Clip. Caesar. Set Infirm. Pass the turn. We could have maybe put up evolves our Lars on top of that, but kind of win more, kind of plays into Nibiru more. Seventh Tachyon. I'm going to Lacrima now. X, place a card back on top of the deck, and Requiem, summon Lacrima, Lacrima effect, Paradise. They have the imperm for the Caesar, because of course they do. Why would my Caesar ever be allowed to activate its effect? Guess I'll get rid of one of your detonators. Loose, eh? Okay. trap wins me the game, probably. But I do not draw the hand trap. Okay. Shuffle back in Desiree. Summon Fiendsmith Engraver. Activate Fiendsmith Requiem. Activate the Fiendsmith Engraver. Fiendsmith Engraver. Send Requiem to send Zeus to the graveyard. Go into Typhon. Into the battle phase. Into 29. In phase 2, Sept called by the grave. Pass the turn. No Graziel, okay. No Graziel, send card from hand. Target. X. X is not going to give it to me. Is there anything in their graveyard that I have to be worried about? Not really. Okay. Requiem. Lacrima. Lacrima. Send Engraver. Engraver. Couple back Requiem. Engraver. One. Requiem. Requiem. Lacrima. Requiem, put to Engraver, activate Engraver, send back to the graveyard, 2 into sequence, sequence, I'm gonna make Desiree for shits and giggles. All of this is technically unnecessary, but fun to one-shot people, so Over 5,000 damage. Alright. Oh, and I have now exceeded summoned enough to do my next level of proficiency test. Seize monster card. Almost to maximum proficiency. This one, special summon 30 tokens. Oh. I guess that'll happen over the course of just gaming. I don't know if my deck's even summon tokens right now, other than Nibiru. I guess I could V-Land Hydra people, or Galaxy Tomahawk people, would make tokens, or I could just Hornet drones, and wait till Yummy is out and I run Hornet drones. Well, I'm going to take that as a sign and call it a night. Probably a going second player who doesn't want me to, he'd rather lose the game automatically than play a game where I know they're going second. But I don't understand those players, but whatever. So, you know, this deck did better than I thought it would do. But obviously a few of the holes in it started to become pretty evident. If they have any answer for your Caesar, then you're down to one interruption off your full combo. And that's like, even if you do manage to make your Caesar do something, it's pretty low ceiling. The Millennium cards and the Castura cards make your ceiling a little bit better, but only if you see them in combination with each other. They give you a few more pushes, but you still don't have that many pushes. And then if you see hands where you have like multiple Lacrima or Engraver or Tracks in the same hand, it's not always the worst, because sometimes you can Necroclip to draw a card off of the Engraver, but a lot of the time it's just like, it's dead cards, especially if you get drolled. But it fared better than I thought it would in this meta. I didn't play it perfectly tonight, but luckily some of my opponents misplayed bigger than I did, so yeah, I guess we'll call that it for tonight. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and bye!